102,555 cases of rape were reported. And it said that out of the cases that were reported, only 16% of the total cases were reported. If you want to know the total number of rapes that took place, multiply the figure by 6.25 and you get an answer of 640,968 cases of rape took place alone in the year 1990. If you divide this figure by 365, the number of days, every day on average in the year 1990, 1,756 rapes took place. I read another statistics later on, which said that every day more than 1,900 cases of rape take place in USA alone. The year was not given, maybe it was 92, 93, the Americans got more bold, 1,900. That means every 1.3 minutes, one case of rape is taking place. I'm here since more than an hour's time. Already, more than 40 rapes may have taken place in USA. I'm here for 1 hour, and 40 rapes may have taken place in USA. And the statistics of FBI, 1990, continues and says that out of those cases that were reported, 16%, out of those reported, 10% were arrested. That means 1.6% of the rapists, they were arrested. Out of those arrested, 50% were let free before the trial. That means only 0.8% of the rapists, they underwent a trial. That means if a man commits 125 rapes, the chances that he'll undergo a trial and get a punishment is only 1. 125 rapes you commit and you get a punishment once, it's a very good gamble, 125 rapes you commit and chances the government will give you a punishment is 1. It's a very good gamble. And out of those that undergo a trial, 50% get a punishment of less than 1 year. Though the American law says 7 years rigorous imprisonment. But the judge said, first time he's committed rape. Now give him benefit of doubt. Let it be lenient. 125 rapes he commits. He comes to the trial once, and the judge says, let's be lenient. First time he's committed rape. These are the statistics of FBI of USA. I'm asking you a question. If you implement the Islamic Sharia in USA, that every man, when he looks at a woman, he should lower his gaze. When any brazen thought comes in his mind. The woman should wear Islamic hijab, complete body covered, except the face and the hands up to the wrist. And after this, if any man commits rape, capital punishment, death penalty. I am asking you a question. Will the rate of rape in America, will it increase? Will it remain the same, or will it decrease? It will decrease. It's a practical law. You implement the Sharia and you get results. And Islam, alhamdulillah, as I said, has the solution to the problems of mankind. And one of the major problems in the Western world is alcoholism, which leads to other problems also. And the glorious Quran has the solution. It says, in Surah Ma'idah, chapter number 5, verse number 90, Ya ayyuhal lazina amanu, O you who believe, innamal khamru wal maisuru, most certainly intoxicants and gambling, wal anzabu wal azlamu, dedication of stones, divination of arrows, rishthum min amali shaitan, these are Satan's handiwork. Fashtanibu lalakum tuflihun, abstain from this handiwork that you may prosper. The Quran says that alcoholism, gambling, these are Satan's handiwork. Abstain from this handiwork that you may prosper. There is an inhibitory center in the brain, which prevents you from doing things which are not correct. For example, if I have to go for call of nature, my inhibitory center will say, don't do it here, go to the toilet. If I'm speaking to elders, my inhibitory center will say, speak with respect. Don't abuse your parents. Don't abuse your elders. Inhibitory center is working. Now, when you're intoxicated, this inhibitory center is inhibited by the alcohol. No wonder you find many alcoholics, they urinate in the clothes itself. They speak with abusive language. They don't respect their parents when they're intoxicated, and they don't care who is in front of them. They keep on speaking anything. The inhibitory center is inhibited. And the statistics of the Western world tells us, especially of the states, that majority of the rapes that take place, majority means more than 95% of the rapes that take place, it is in the state of intoxicants. Either the rapist is intoxicated or the victim who was raped is intoxicated. more than 95%. And almost all of the cases of incest. You know incest? Incest means sex with close relatives. Father and daughter, mother and son, brother and sister. Incest. It's in the case when the people are intoxicated. Majority of rape, more than 95%, almost all of the incest is in the state of intoxicants. And imagine, even the AIDS, one of the reasons for AIDS to spread is alcoholism, which is a very dangerous disease. One of the reasons is alcoholism. There are people who say, oh, we are only social drinkers. We only are social drinkers, just once in a while, Some people say in cold countries, because if it's cold, we have only one peg of beer. It's not harmful. So I tell them that if you're feeling cold, why don't you sit next to the fireplace? No, we want to drink something, I said, if you want to drink something, why don't you have honey? Honey keeps you more warm than alcohol. But in the honey, there's no kick which you get in the beer. People have excuses. And there are some Westerners, who told me, let's see, Brother Zakir, Islam, I don't mind accepting. But the thing is that I cannot give up my alcohol. There are certain people who only want an excuse for not accepting Islam. So I told that brother, that suppose I give you a fatwa, suppose that for you, alcohol is forgiven. If you have alcohol, it's forgiven. Just for sake of argument. Will you accept Islam then? He was silent. People want to give excuse for not accepting it. Not that that was the only reason why he's not accepting Islam. Saying that, no, Islam is a good religion, but I cannot give up my alcohol. So I said, okay, fine. At least you give up your shirk. I will tell you that even with alcohol, no problem. Allah may forgive you. Shirk, Allah will never forgive you. If you do shirk, Allah will never forgive you. No problem. If that's your only hitch from accepting Islam, I will give you a certificate that no problem. You have alcohol. Other things that will be follow of Islam. This is trying to use hikmah. As I said, there are no excuses people don't accept Islam. But then Islam has a solution to the problems. There are people who say, my father, he's a social drinker since a long time. So I tell the people, every drunkard, when you interview him, every alcoholic you interview him, and you can ask the doctors, when you interview them, no alcoholic starts drinking because he wants to become alcoholic. No alcoholic starts drinking because he wants to become a drunkard. He starts as a social drinker. And many of them end up becoming drunkards. And then some people say, my father, he is a social drinker and he has good willpower. He has only one peg a week and one peg twice a week, and he never gets intoxicated. So I tell that any human being who's been having alcohol since several years, you ask him that has he ever been intoxicated in his life? And no one can say no. If he's been a social drinker also, at least a few times in his life, he has to be intoxicated. And if suppose during that time, if he commits a crime like rape or incest, will any modest person be ever able to forgive himself again? The loss that is done, irreparable, irreversible loss done to him and the victim is unforgivable. Suppose in the state of intoxication, if you get intoxicated even once, and suppose you commit rape, or suppose you commit incest, your father sleeps with your daughter, will he